Welcome back to Reel 21, where I'm watching my way through the New York Times 100 Best Movies of the 21st Century, one film at a time in countdown order. I'm Nathan Chandler, and today we're at number 96 with Black Panther, directed by Ryan Coogler. Now, before we get into the movie itself, I think it's important to acknowledge something. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has defined 21st century box office culture. For a long stretch, these were the movies consistently bringing massive audiences into theaters. Whether you love them or not, they've shaped the industry. But Black Panther wasn't just another MCU entry. When it came out in 2018, it felt like a moment. Wakanda Forever wasn't just a line of dialogue. It became part of pop culture almost instantly. This movie transcended its franchise in a way few superhero films ever have. So revisiting it now, the question is, does it still feel essential? The film follows T'Challa, played by the late Chadwick Boseman, as he returns to Wakanda after the death of his father to take his place as king. Wakanda, of course, is the technologically advanced African nation powered by vibranium, a rare metal that allows it to thrive while presenting itself to the world as impoverished and isolated. But T'Challa's rule is challenged by Eric Killmonger, played by Michael B. Jordan, a man with a personal connection to Wakanda's past and a radically different vision for its future. And that's where the movie elevates itself. At its core, Black Panther isn't just about a battle for a throne. It's about responsibility, about isolation versus engagement, about what powerful nations owe to oppressed people beyond their borders. That thematic layer gives this movie more weight than your average superhero or origin story. Now, I'll be honest, I've never completely latched onto Black Panther the way some people have. And I don't necessarily blame the filmmakers for that. The MCU films are extremely well made, but they're also designed to fit within a shared universe. Even when directors leave their fingerprints on the material, there's a visual and tonal consistency that runs through these movies. It can sometimes make it hard for me to separate one entry entirely from the machine. That said, Black Panther works better than most as a standalone story. Where it really shines for me isn't the action, it's in the character interactions. The action is fine. In fact, some of the heavier CGI sequences, yes, including the rhino charge, still pull me out a bit, maybe quite a bit. But the scenes between T'Challa and Killmonger, that's where the film lives. Killmonger is one of the MCU's most compelling antagonists because his anger is rooted in something real. His worldview is extreme, but it's understandable. When he reveals those scars across his body, each one marking a life taken, it's a chilling moment. I think, personally, one of the most badass moments in a superhero film. Not just because it looks intense, because it tells a story within exposition. Michael B. Jordan brings vulnerability beneath the rage, and Ryan Coogler clearly knows how to use him. And then there's Chadwick Boseman. Knowing what we know now and his health struggles, his performance carries even more weight. He leads with restraint, dignity, and quiet strength. T'Challa isn't the loudest or flashiest hero in the MCU, but he feels grounded, thoughtful, measured. This film stands as a reminder of what an extraordinary talent we lost far too soon. The supporting cast only deepens the impact. Angela Bassett, Lupita Nyong'o, Letitia Wright, Forest Whitaker, just to name a few. And one of the film's quiet triumphs is its portrayal of strong Black women in leadership, science, and combat roles without reducing them to caricature. Their power feels organic, not performative. So where do I ultimately land on Black Panther? It's not my personal favorite superhero film. I'm not even sure where it would rank in a full MCU rundown for me, but it's safely in the upper tier, and more importantly, I completely understand why it's on this list. The cultural impact alone makes it essential. The year that it came out, you saw Black Panther Halloween costumes everywhere. But beyond that, its themes about legacy, unity, and responsibility elevate it beyond being just another franchise movie. It may not overwhelm me as pure spectacle, but it lingers because of its ideas, and that counts for something. All right, let's wrap it up with a few quick categories. Overall rating, I give it 3.5 stars. Even though it's probably a little higher for most people, I don't fault them for that, but that's just my personal ranking. Pop culture footprint, massive. It was a watershed moment for representation and blockbuster cinema. Rewatchability, 3.5 out of 5. Strongest for its performances and themes, for sure. Does it make you think? Absolutely. It's about power, isolation, and generational responsibility. Conversation starter? Yes, especially around Killmonger's ideology and Wakanda's global stance. This MCU movie definitely elicits more conversation than most of the films in its universe. Does this film hold up? Yes, it still does. The performances and cultural weight remain potent. Where did I place it? Upper tier MCU. It's not my personal top superhero film, but I think unquestionably it's essential to see. Up next, we head somewhere completely different, from Wakanda to Norway, as we move on to Worst Person in the World, a very different kind of coming-of-age story. As always, follow us on Substack at Movies Are Life, where I'm posting reviews and episodes and just general thoughts about movies and other entertainment things. You can also check us out on our website, moviesarelife.com. Until next time, keep watching, stay curious, and trust the list, at least for now.